Loved one, is TJ here. I am back to continue this series, this fun series of psychic abilities or sacred gifts or spiritual gifts, however you want to call them. If you have not already checked out the list of 13 psychic abilities that I discussed in another video, go ahead and click the card here, check it out, and then come back and let us know if you are clairvoyant. That's what we're about to talk about. Clairvoyant. I could not talk about psychic abilities without talking about this one, which seems to be the most famous one. Everyone loves this one. So let's get into it. As I mentioned before, clair is a French word for clear. So clairvoyance is the ability to see what isn't physically there and unseen by the human eye. Okay? So clairvoyance is clear seeing. If you are clairvoyant, you are able to see energy in the form of colors, shapes, images, life forms, pictures, light, movement, and I'm sure there's more to that. Clairvoyance is the spiritual ability of the third eye, which is the sixth chakra. The third eye, you see, I have mine represented here in my markings. This scene can be subtle or it can be dramatic. Some describe it like watching a movie in their mind's eye, and that's very much how it is for me. Now, I can see certain things, from sides, and sometimes I'll see little fairy glows and things like that. But most of my clairvoyance is in my mind's eye, right here. This is the third eye chakra. Chakra is Sanskrit for wheel, energy center. Okay, this is where your intuition is, and this is where I would say your knowing is. So this is your real eye. These are your human eyes. And so with your third eye, with clairvoyance, for me, I can see, like when I am laying down and I'm just sort of like relaxing or in meditation, sometimes I can see sacred geometry in all the different colors. It just forms and all. It's like a light show of colors. It's beautiful. Sometimes I can see flashes of people's faces and animals' faces going real fast, like this collage, and you've seen them do this in movies where it's like this really fast collage of images. And sometimes what that means is that I am either looking at, maybe there's some messaging in there for me, or maybe those are like just flashes of people, places, things, or maybe me from other life experiences that just happen to like flash in front of me. I'm talking about people I've never seen. I'll see names, I'll see words, I'll see billboards, I'll see bright color. I can see like my various members of my spiritual team, my guides. I can see them in a color. If any of you are familiar with Terrence Howard, the actor Terrence Howard, he can actually see, when he hears music, he can see the colors of the tones. All of this stuff is interconnected. It's just that because we're human and we're very dense, we're unable to see these things with our human eye. But sound and color and light, all of it is like, it all goes hand in hand. It's one. So, but it's very fun. And the more you can safely develop this particular gift, I feel like the more fun you'll have. And yes, there are people who can see dead people, and spirit beings and things like that, and light beings and stuff like that as well. And this, like any other psychic ability, sacred gift, a spiritual gift, is so nuanced based on our own individual blueprint that I'm sure there's a plethora of things that falls under this category that we can't even imagine. And some of these abilities, these sacred gifts, they cross over, they parallel, they intertwine. Okay, so what does clairvoyance look like for you? What are your experiences? Have you fully developed your clairvoyant gift? Were you born kind of seeing things already and maybe pushed it to the back, and then later on found out, like, oh, the rest of the family has this as well? I have family members who are clairvoyant, but the gift lies dormant. They're not really trying to activate it. They realized and found that, like by accident, both of my parents, by accident, and then it's like, oh, okay, ooh. And but it's really interesting, to discover that there's more to us than what meets the eye, and that we're more magical, just like on TV, just like in the movies, right? This is fabulous. Anyway, I dropped something. I don't know what it is. If you want help with developing your clairvoyant ability, your third eye, there are some crystals that you can work with. Some resonate, with different people more than others, and vice versa. But the crystals you might want to consider is labradorite, tanzanite, which is a relatively rare crystal, but it is a good one, and iolite. If you guys work with crystals and you like a particular crystal that for your third eye better than others, then go ahead and leave that in the comments. Some people also like quartz crystal. Now this is a Vogel, but some people like to hold a stone up to their head and just say, show me, show me, using the energies and the wisdom of the stone to help. And yeah, that's it for clairvoyance. I will be back with more to come. Until then, live simply and be kind.